Well, greetings, church family. Today's daily Bible reading had us in Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And what we see right off the bat from verses 1 through 11, of course, that prologue that so many recognize, that is indeed here, Solomon's prologue. And it's a depressing one, isn't it? Declares everything is just a mere breath. There's nothing on this earth that's substantial. It is all vanity, he says. Notice 5 times in just one verse he uses the word vanity. Remember, hevel, meaning breath, vanity, futility, that which has no substance, disappears just after it first appears. Notice also the use of several determiners that he has in this prologue, which are all absolutes. He uses the word all in verses 2, 3, 7, and 8, forever in verse 4, nothing in verse 9, and anything in a rhetorical statement in verse 10. It's all to describe just in a hyperbolic way the vanity of everything, to express this in as really as despairing a tone as Solomon was indeed feeling as he wrote this. Notice also verse 8, which has 2 never statements. In the NASB, they pop up as not. All things are wearisome. Man is, in the Hebrew, man is never able to tell it, and the eye is never satisfied with seeing, nor is the ear filled with hearing. And those are incredible absolute statements that go along with what we just looked at. And this entire first section of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 goes through great lengths to show no matter what man or nature do, certain elements remain the same. Man simply does not leave an eternal mark on this earth. Man's work, his various generations, anything that you might think he'd be remembered for, even his own eating and seeing and hearing and all of this, well, eventually it's going to disappear. No one's ever satiated fully. No one's ever stopped listening to something. No one's going to be remembered forever in this world. And even the earth and sun and wind and hydrological cycle, they all appear to remain the same to the human eye. They show how fleeting life is on this earth. Then you get to verses 12 through 18. As Solomon begins to dive deeper into this book, past the prologue, and now giving the evidence for why he's stating all life is vanity. This helps solidify right off the bat the internal evidence this book has that this was indeed written by Solomon. After all, the writer here, the Koheleth, the preacher, he references wisdom 5 times. Well, of course, Solomon's the one in 1 Kings 3, 10 through 12, who is told this. It was pleasing in the sight of the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. God said to him, because you've asked this thing, wisdom, and have not asked for yourself long life, nor have asked riches for yourself, nor have asked for the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself discernment to understand justice. Behold, I have done according to your words. Behold, I have given you a wise and discerning heart, so that there has been no one like you before you, nor shall one like you arise after you. And what Solomon found was that no matter how wise he was in this world, and no matter how much knowledge he attained, everything under the sun, or as he puts it in verse 13 here, under heaven, that resulted from that wisdom and knowledge, indeed, all those blessings that the Lord back in 1 Kings 3 says he is going to give to him because he only asked for that wisdom. The Lord's going to bless him with all these riches and all these material wealth. Well, Solomon's going to go on in the book of Ecclesiastes to state that all of that is still striving after wind, he recognizes. He recognizes at the end of his life it had no eternal substance to it. And that's the big thing we got to grab from really the book of Ecclesiastes, but especially right off the bat here in chapter 1. Neither man nor nature can yield eternal significance, no matter how hard at work either of them seem to be. Only God provides meaning. The things of this earth do not. 1 John 2, 15 through 17 puts it this way. Do not love the world nor the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the boastful pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. The world is passing away and also its lusts, but the one who does the will of God lives forever. So let us heed the words of 2 Thessalonians 3:5. May the Lord direct your hearts into the love of God and into the steadfastness of Christ. That should be a prayer of ours. We're commanded to love the Lord our God with our heart, soul, mind, and strength, all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. We need to pray that God would direct our hearts into the love of Him and into the steadfastness of Jesus Christ. And of course, that begins with forsaking the things of this world, forsaking our own sinful flesh, and trusting in Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, for salvation, and worshiping him as master, as king, as God. And then may we grow in the love of God, grow away from love for anything of this world, since the Lord is forever, but this world is passing away. We can be guaranteed this: those who rely on the riches and pleasures and comforts of this world will surely one day say with Solomon, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. This has been Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and I hope you have a great day.